Oh, yeah, it's time for our initial thoughts on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's rock it. Yes, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. And we had to talk Obi-Wan Kenobi because it's Star Wars. We are prepared with our Star Wars shirts. You might have to back up a little bit to see yours because something about, oh yeah, it cost you an arm and a leg. I don't think I've actually seen that entire shirt all the way through, so.
Poor Vader.
Poor Vader, man. He's so misunderstood.
He is. He really is.
You know, playing Star Wars The Old Republic again, just kind of getting all set up for this kind of stuff. You know, Anakin was right, man. The Jedi are evil. And I look at the choices. You know, it's like, we want to protect life and save life. Here, go kill 20 minions, you know, or go kill 20 of these things. And I'm like, so basically the Jedi just murder and then apologize for it. And then the Sith just murder and don't care, right? Is that kind of how it works?
Exactly. Yes,
okay.
That's how it works in that game. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. So Obi-Wan, I feel like it's kind of the same way. He's apologizing for all of this. I don't even really know what's going on. But what were your overall thoughts of Obi-Wan Kenobi, man? It's here. The first two episodes. We're getting spoilery too, by the way. But what do you think?
First two. Yeah. Brian, this is looking like the Star Wars I've been waiting for after all these years.
Oh.
It's looking that way. Now, I've been burned by Star Wars over and over in the last, 15 or more years. But
wait, has it been 15? 7 years ago was The Force Awakens. So is that what you mean? Like 7 years?
Okay, fine. Within 7 years.
Okay, just checking.
I've been burned so many times since The Force Awakens started that I'm still a little bit gun shy, but these first two episodes felt to me like something truly worthy of the franchise name.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I got to say that I mean, my first impressions were, wow, what a great start. Mm-hmm. What a great start. I mean, it was so much fun. Now, the way they started it right away, they just kind of rolled into it. And here's something that I know a lot of fans are not going to agree with, is that I really appreciate the slow pace that they're taking with this. It almost takes more of an original trilogy sort of pacing, and it's more methodical. It's a little more in depth, and a lot of people have been complaining about that, saying it's way too slow. This is ridiculous. I mean, but it's because we're used to this high octane action, and honestly, I'm getting tired of that. I want more thoughtful, slower paced episodes and movies right now because I don't just want the crazy action anymore. So I'm liking that a lot. Not everybody else.
Fair enough. I'm surprised to hear that. I had not read that, and the first two episodes did not feel slow to me in the slightest. That's interesting.
Well, slower paced compared to some of the other things we're used to right now. But we're going to be talking about Stranger Things too, and Stranger Things was kind of a slow burn in the first episode too, but it was still really, really good and fun to watch. So I think people are just used to this, like go.
I guess I can't relate. So, well, I'm not that old yet, but I can't relate. I just it felt paced. It felt paced Star Wars pace.
I thought so too. I thought it was great. I thought it was faster and more exciting than Boba Fett. I mean,
very much so.
That's my theory.
It already beats the crap out of Boba Fett and Mandalorian, hands down. Just in 2 episodes.
That's interesting you said that, because obviously there were episodes of The Mandalorian that I just absolutely loved, and I think they were some phenomenal Star Wars, whatever you want to call it, Star Wars story told.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there were some Mandalorian episodes that I absolutely did not like. I thought they were boring. I thought they were kind of contradictory to the Star Wars universe. Right. It just was like, this is so dumb. Boba Fett, on the other hand, I thought, there were some good moments, but there were a lot of like, wow, they probably shouldn't have done this show. With Obi-Wan, I mean, granted, I love Ewan McGregor. I love him. He's awesome.
I do too.
I can't complain about him. It's great to see Jimmy Smits again. We saw a glimpse of Hayden Christensen, and we're going to see more. And I'm excited because I like those actors. And yeah, the sand, and it's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere. It doesn't act well. But, dude, I think he's probably advanced in the last 20, man. Can you believe this? This has been 2005. We're looking at 17 years later for these guys. That's pretty incredible. But I am very pleased at what I saw so far. And so the first scene when they started off with the Order 66, first of all, I was like, yes, I love when they do flashbacks to that Order 66, because we just didn't see enough of that in episode 3, in my opinion. However, I didn't understand what that scene had to do with anything. That was the one thing where I was like, awesome. And I was like, what are we supposed to know these people? Are some of these people going to come back? Or I'm not really sure what just happened there.
It was a good scene, but it was a good scene. I loved it, but I could see why you're saying that because I feel like they just showed it to throw in a dramatic scene that had a lot of impact on why Obi-Wan was sent away.
Yeah.
Whatever. But you're right. I had a hard time articulating that because as I was saying it, I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, what point was there in showing, those younglings trying to escape from, the slaughter? It was a very gritty scene. I appreciated that. And right out the bat, I mean, they really just kind of hit the ground running on this.
One thing, and I thought this was kind of interesting because, you get in the original Star Wars trilogy, they're talking about there's this old hermit that's living beyond the Dune Sea, or he's not just a crazy old man, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of negative connotations about Obi-Wan as this crazy hermit living in the sands, What did you think, though, about how they showed Obi-Wan living? They didn't really show him out beyond the Dune Sea necessarily, but that was kind of interesting. But, he's living in a cave and he's working, I guess they're cutting up sand sharks or something. I'm not even entirely sure what those were. But what did you think kind of that whole portrayal of his life as of right now?
I kind of thought it was interestingly mundane. And I don't mean mundane as in, oh my God, this is boring. I just meant I liked how Obi-Wan was just making a living while he was just hanging out, biding his time on Tatooine, and watching Luke grow up under the roof of
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. Yeah, it was just really. I thought it was a great. I thought it was a great it's what the prequels maybe should have been. I don't know.
Well, no, but it did make sense about how he's going from this crazy, hey, I'm an amazing Jedi, I'm a general, to, oh man, I'm a has-been, I don't have what it takes anymore. And he's kind of, you could tell he's depressed.
Down, yeah. He's very depressed. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very interesting. I thought they did a really, really good job, by the way, showing that. I thought that they portrayed it well. You're seeing, like you said, the mundane aspect of just that repetitious day in and day out. He's working this job. He's grabbing a piece of meat for his, I don't even know what those things are called. The little, things that they ride. I wish he had a bantha, and then of course they've got, he's going back to his cave and stuff like that. So interesting. Then of course, like you said, he's watching Luke and stuff. I was pleased by the interaction that he had with Uncle Owen in the city and how it was he's basically hates Jedi. He's growing even more and more why he should hate Jedi. And then of course the Inquisitors come in and then threaten him and his family. Oh, now he hates Jedi that much more. It's just man, now you start to really understand that hate.
But Owen has honor and does not give Obi-Wan away. And that when he totally could have, and many around him would have said should have.
Oh yeah.
He does not, even though he has no love for Obi-Wan, he's honorable enough to not give him away. So I thought that was a really neat dynamic they threw in there. So,
Agreed. Yeah, I like that. One thing I was going to say too is they're still continuing that story about Obi-Wan learning how to communicate with an old master, ideally Qui-Gon. I actually hope we get Liam Neeson's voice or even appearance. Wouldn't that be amazing? But that would be incredible. And he's trying. I hope, man, that would be a neat little culmination just to see Liam Neeson come back as Qui-Gon as a Force ghost. I mean, that would be cool because, man, he was a great Jedi, great character. And, Liam didn't like the writing and because he was supposed to be there in the entire original prequels trilogy.
Right.
But he told George Lucas, I don't like this. The script's terrible. This is beneath me, and kill me off in the first episode. That's what happened.
Good for you, Liam.
Yeah, go Liam. Better come back to this, buddy, or else I'm coming for you. And I've got a special set of skills.
But they've hinted at it too much. We know that either he or his voice or a likeness of him is going to be on the show.
It better not just be a voice, though.
Hinted at it. Yeah.
It better be him as a Force ghost. I mean, that would be amazing. Yeah. There's actually some people that I'm hoping to see in general. I guess we'll see. All right, so let's talk Inquisitors, man. So first of all, the Inquisitors, they were around in the Clone Wars. They were around in Rebels. And of course, they've been in the new video game, newish video game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's a mouthful, man. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which just got interestingly announced for its sequel, the name and everything, and the release date, same time that Obi-Wan came out.
Jedi Survivor.
I'm wondering if they're going to bring Cal into this somehow. Maybe one of the younglings was Cal. I'm not sure because, of course, he does. I'm trying not to spoil the video game in case you haven't played it. It's an amazing game. Yeah. But there are a lot of aspects to him. So I wonder, because it would be, Yeah, I guess it would be right around that time, 10 years after Order 66. So he would, let's see, he was probably around 10, so he'd be around 20. And, you know, of course, Fallen Order takes place in between 3 and 4, episodes 3 and 4. So it'd be about the right time.
Yeah.
With the Inquisitors, they talk about the sisters. What I didn't know, and that's interesting that they talked about this in episode 2, was how the Inquisitors were, some of them were Jedi that basically turned to the dark side to hunt down the Jedi, which that's interesting. I'm glad they brought that into that. And then, of course, some of them are, because, you know, I think you and I've talked about this, but everybody knows this from, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know this, that when it comes, what Yoda said, there's always two, no more, no less, a master and an apprentice when it comes to the Sith. So these Inquisitors are not Sith. They are dark side Force users, but they're not actual full Sith, of course. So interesting. I think that's kind of cool how they brought these guys in. We got to see one of the spinning lightsabers just really quickly at the end of episode 2, which was cool. What do you think, though, of the Inquisitors so far?
I think they're suitably menacing. And the seventh sister, I don't remember the actress's name, but she does clue. I just love how she talks. I mean, it's like Chris Rock had a sister and I think she sounds like Chris Rock a little bit, you know, and she's, you know, a little bit of this, you know, little, but, and then the guy with the mushroom head and then, you know, the pale dude. I just think that they were all suitably unique and menacing. I wish there was more action with them. And I
hopefully
there was, but I think that's what we're going to get too. So, yeah.
I was interested to see how rusty Obi-Wan was. In fact, I was kind of surprised at first. I'm like, man, he really has not used the Force at all in 10 years. Like, this is weird, but you know, he hasn't used his lightsaber. Of course, he's going to be rusty, but I thought, you know, this is something that I got to wonder though. Why wouldn't he use the Force in some way or another? I mean, I guess, well, because then I guess it would kind of alert, because they do say that, like, I can feel him or I can feel her somewhere because, you know, they've reached out to the Force, and then maybe that's why. Maybe he's literally cut off his connection to the Force completely for the last 10 years, in which case that would make his rustiness very valid.
The more you use the Force, the more of a presence you have.
All right, so let's talk about the Leia storyline, because obviously we didn't get much in the way of Luke or Owen or anything like that, but Leia we got a lot of, and that surprised me that we were seeing a lot of Leia. But first of all, Jimmy Smith's coming back as her father and stuff. Organa, I loved that. Bail Organa is his name. And then, so first of all, Alderaan. I just love Alderaan. I mean, in the movie and in the video games, you know, in Star Wars: The Old Republic, Alderaan is just gorgeous. It's such a beautiful planet. So it's fun to see that before it gets wiped out. I should have worn my Alderaan shirt, actually. He'll be totally blown away. It was just such a great portrayal of Alderaan, and, you know, seeing the houses come together and stuff like that, and kind of cool to see how she's coming up as a princess and stuff like that. I think the young actress is doing a great job. I think you and I both said she doesn't look like she's quite 10 yet. No. She looks like she's more like 5 or 6 or something. So
yeah, she looks amazing. I'll give her 7 maybe, but she's doing such a great job of acting. I've already gotten over it.
Oh no, she's great. I'm impressed. To me, actually.
She's 10. It's like, okay, you're 10. You're doing great. So.
She's kind of annoying, but it's like a fun annoying, because it's like it totally fits into Leia's character as she gets older. And you're just kind of like, oh my gosh, they're really kind of doing that nicely. But I'm glad they're bringing this in, because we know that there's a little bit of a history between Leia and Obi-Wan. We don't know much about it. It's just
barely hinted at in the episode 4. Yeah.
Yep,
and
that
this
was
is where it's coming from. So,
and I don't know how much they really know each other, of course, but it is going to be interesting to see where they go. I don't know. I'm excited to see where that storyline happens. I'm interested. It's kind of surprising to me, but I guess in some ways that's cool, because we've already seen Obi-Wan and Luke. We already know that's happening. So if you have an entire episode, an entire series dedicated to him creeping on Luke, you know, that's going to get pretty boring. So at least there's interaction with Leia. And then, of course, you know, we'll see what happens. But I mean, I'm impressed.
Did they do that in Family Guy? Wasn't he creeping on Luke in Family Guy? Pretty sure they were, because Chris was Luke and Herbert was Obi-Wan. And,
that Family Guy Star Wars was just absolute classic, man. So
amazing, yeah.
I think there's that, and then of course Flea. I have to point out Flea, man.
So many little things to point out.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, and of course he did some acting in Back to the Future 2, and I guess it was just 2, wasn't it?
Probably.
Or maybe it was 1 too. I don't remember. It's been a while, but anyway, just a classic stuff though. So it's kind of fun to see him, you know, significantly older and everything like that. But he, you know, he does
even if briefly. But yeah, he's there.
We're enjoying it. We're having a good time.
I can't help it.
I know. Exactly. Like, I can't help but love it either. I mean, I was sucked right in and I just had a great time with it. I was like, I can't wait for the 3rd episode. Like, bring it on. This is great.
And you know darn well that I am very critical of Star Wars, just because I know they can do better than they have been doing.
Yep.
And now they are doing better than they have been doing. So yeah, I can't help but like this. I always go into every new Star Wars show wanting really, really badly to like it. And sometimes I'm gratified, other times I'm not, but this time I'm very gratified.
If you're one of the fans that just can't stand this, then here's my recommendation. Stop watching Obi-Wan and go watch something like Stranger Things. And we're going to be talking about that, and you can check that out. And we're going to have it in the description below, because that's a fun little show going on right now. Watch stuff like that. Life's short, go watch something you love. But and I know you do, Captain, I absolutely recommend Obi-Wan 100%. I'm enjoying it more than Boba Fett, even more than The Mandalorian in many ways. And to me, it's like, maybe I'm alone on this one, and maybe I'm in the unpopular minority here. I'm not sure. I feel like this is the kind of Star Wars we've been wanting for a long time. I feel like they're finally delivering on this in a way that is, I think it's great. Now, we don't know where they're going to go, but episodes 1 and 2 so far, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it.
Good start.
All right. Well, there you go. Check out our Stranger Things review coming up, and hey, thanks for joining us, but this is it. We're gonna come back definitely at the very end of the season of Obi-Wan, and we're gonna definitely give you our full thoughts on the whole season as a whole. But anyway, that's like redundancy, Department of Redundancy Department.
Definitely.
Man. Yeah, the whole season as a whole. It's gonna be amazing. Have a great day. See ya.